So let's begin just relaxing on the mats. Having a few deep breaths. And just seeing where you are today, how you're feeling physically, mentally and emotionally. Each time I ask that question each week, there might be a very different answer. So just tune into the breath and become conscious of the next 2 or 3 breaths. Does it feel easy to breathe this evening, or is it laboured in any way? Nice deep breaths into the belly. And just take a moment to follow your thoughts. Where were your thoughts just resting then? To be aware of where we rest our awareness is so important, because often we can just sort of pivot or tangent off into negative thoughts or past hurts. So our ability to be very conscious and the witness of our thoughts can really help our health, our well-being, to remain in a more positive and upbeat state. So just check through your body where there might be tightness or tension. And gently, when you're ready, if you're already seated, that's fine. But if you're lying down, just draw the knees in. Enjoy a nice rock. Don't rush this, just feel into your back. And then gently you can come up to seated. So we'll have some quiet meditation. Let's go with So Hum, that lovely mantra that we can repeat in our mind. As we breathe in, we say so in our mind and hum on the exhale. It's a lovely way to stay centered and focused, but just notice if you do wander off, if a thought comes in and that takes you on to another thought and something else, and then you've forgotten where you are, and then you might remember and you'll come back to So Hum. That can happen, but just stay with it. Just return to it. There's no right or wrong here. It's just practice. So we'll take our 5 minutes. Just get comfortable, relax your hands, and we'll relax our eyes and our face, our neck and shoulders. Maybe take a long sigh, and then we'll begin. So breathing in, mentally saying so, and then hum on the exhale. And just rest in this. Witness your thoughts around the mantra. Staying with the mantra. Following your thoughts. And then gently just taking another breath or two, and we'll come back. Noticing how you feel. Take a deep breath and relax. And so we're going to come into puppy. I've had a rethink of all the poses and we're going to start with puppy this evening, which is sort of a lovely melting heart pose. So joining me with your hips over your knees and coming down. Today I'm going to use a cushion. It just feels a little bit more supportive under the chest. And then just resting your head down. Letting the arms stretch out. And starting to relax. You might find there's a bit of tension in your arms. Trying to relax the shins, calf muscles. And deep breaths. If at any time you need to come out of the pose, please do. And really looking for where there's tension. Notice if by lengthening the arms it's a little easier. Relaxing the abdomen, tummy.
And how do you feel in this pose? Are you still holding tension in the shoulders and the upper arms? And so we'll just take one more breath. Lifting your head slowly, coming back. We didn't do too long there. And then just relaxing back to your mat. And just noticing how you feel. Often the after effects can be so much nicer than perhaps the actual pose that you've been in. Feeling perhaps tingling through the arms, hands, a bit more space in the chest. How do you feel? Where can you relax a bit more? And then when you're ready, let's draw the knees in. Have a gentle rock. When you're ready, we'll roll up to seated. We'll come into forward fold, so caterpillar. It's a nice counter pose to puppy, but if you need something under your knees, then just pop something there, if that feels comfortable this evening. Otherwise, we'll just gently soften into this. Nice deep breaths, relaxing the legs, softening through shoulders and arms, head and neck. And then just gradually throughout your pose, just look for any movement forward. How does it feel in this pose, relaxing into it? Witnessing your thoughts still. Lovely stretch for the back
and the bladder meridian. Can you breathe to the belly easily? Does it feel restricted? Does it feel nice opening up into the upper back? Just notice anywhere else in your body you're tight, even the fingers and wrists. Just keep noticing if there's a little bit more movement. Let's just take a few more breaths here. And gently lifting up, we'll lie back. And noticing how you're feeling. How tight are you in the lumbar spine? How long does it take you to just really let go? And usually it kind of releases in stages. Just taking some deep breaths. Relaxing your nervous system. And then gently we'll hug in. So bring in right leg in, then your left one. In rocking, just enjoy rocking. Every time we do this, it's going to feel different depending on the pose we've done just beforehand. And so we're going to come into heart bench now, going backwards again with body. So rolling up, grabbing 2 blocks. And then gently take your time coming down. It always takes a few goes. 1 block behind the heart or around the area, aligning with the spine, and then just the other block for the head. And take a few moments just to adjust it until it just feels right. Relaxing the legs.
Long sigh, just let the body soften. It does take a while to soften into this pose, but it does happen. If this doesn't feel right for you this evening and you would prefer just to rest over the cushion, then please choose bench. It's always another lovely option. So a really different sensation perhaps you're feeling here with the breath, with the forward folding caterpillar. We're hunched over. It may feel more restrictive with the breath, but opening here. And even you can take your arms out to the side if that feels nice. Just a lot more spacious in the chest and lungs. Let your eyelids close if they haven't already. And just enjoy whatever sensation you feel here. Does it feel easier through the back? You might get to the point where you don't really even notice the block. Breathing to belly and allowing the breath to the chest. Just keep checking through your body for any tightness. Could be your wrists, could be the neck. Just following your breath a little longer. Just check through your facial muscles for the moment and notice if anything is tight around the eyes, the cheeks, jaw. And then when you're ready, we'll just gently take a breath and come up, nice and slowly.
Just move your blocks to the side and then we'll come down. I think it's always quite nice as you work through your poses in your practice to notice which one's your favourite, or maybe which one is the favourite after effect feeling as well. How does that feel through your upper back now? Arms and shoulders. Sometimes you can gauge maybe how much tension you've been holding by the after effects as we lie down here. So we'll gently bring these in. We're going to come into banana next. So that's a two-sided pose. And then we'll also have waterfall towards the end, which I know is a favourite for most of us. So let's come into banana. Sometimes one side might have to just be a little bit more cautious, so just being aware. We'll start by all the body going towards the right. So feet over to the lower right-hand corner, right foot comes over left, and then just gently shuffling shoulders. And then wherever your arms you want to rest them, you can. I'm just going to keep them by my side this evening, a bit more restful. But as you come into this pose, relax your buttocks. Try not to overstretch initially. You can gradually move into the pose later on. But relax your head and neck as well. Although it seems easy here, often we do have to really make sure we do it. Lower back as well. Lower back and your waist. And just how do you feel? How do you feel emotionally here, mentally? Lovely and balancing for our feminine aspect when we stretch into the left side of the body. It's also good for our gallbladder. Following your breath. Keep just checking to see if your thighs or buttocks are clenched in any way, even if it's just a small tension. As you lie here, it might sound strange, but notice if, as you breathe, your left nostril feels a little bit more clear, or you're noticing the breath more through the left nostril, the left nadi. So just a few more breaths. And then we'll come back into alignment. So just uncrossing, find your way back to center. Have a few moments here just observing. Deep breath, nice sigh. How does it feel through your back? Where do you feel chi moving, that coolness? Maybe it's inner thighs where you've had the legs crossed. This benefits liver and gallbladder, kidneys. So just also aware of what feels slightly out of balance from one side to the other. And then let's draw the knees in before we come into the other side. It's quite nice just to have a rock and come into it with a new, fresh sensation. If you want a blanket over you while we're lying here still, then you can. You can grab a blanket. I should have said this earlier, actually. So you can lie down. We're going to go over to the left side now. So bringing feet to the lower left corner, left over right. Gently adjust through your hips and pelvis, and then shoulders left. And just being very aware if this side needs to be your more gentle side. We're often very sort of not very out of sync, but sometimes we can be a little bit imbalanced through our body. Each side needs its own attention. So breathe, relax, soften the buttocks, lower back, tightness in the waist. Let your eyes close and just melt into this pose. And if it aggravates anything through this side, the hip, then just really sort of adjust yourself so it's a very, very gentle bend to your body. So what are you thinking? Where are your thoughts? Relaxing your arms and shoulders. And can you soften through your jaw? Following your deep breaths to the belly, feeling that movement in the right side of your body of breath. How does this compare with the other side? Are there noticeable differences? Easier to relax? Some days you'll really enjoy this pose, other days you won't feel perhaps the same effects. So just checking in with where you are this evening with this banana pose. And so we'll just take a few more breaths. Gently, really slowly, just coming back into center. And you can keep your blanket over your legs if that feels nice. Just have a few moments here. Really relaxing into your body. How do you feel? How do you feel within as well, whether you're really calm, peaceful? So we can bring these in. A lovely rock. And waterfall now. I'm going to take quite a while in waterfall this evening, a little bit longer than we normally do, because it is so lovely and restful. If you have the ability to move against a piece of furniture or a wall, please do. I know it's a little bit of movement initially, but actually it just gives you that little bit added benefit of relaxing your legs. So, but if you can't, don't worry, just bring the legs up, pop a little cushion under the buttocks just to sort of create a little wedge. And then I would advise a blanket. I'm a blanket girl through and through. So popping it over your feet, even if it just reaches over your shoulders as well, it's lovely and cozy. And so we're really going to just relax here for a moment. Very beneficial for your heart and the fluid in your body. So let your eyelids close. Draw your awareness to your third eye. And we can also use this pose as a meditative practice as we gaze at our Ajna chakra, third eye. Notice what images you might see, colours, feelings. Or maybe even use the power of your mind to create the future or the desire that you have. Can you imagine a lovely scene of harmony, love and compassion amongst friends, family, whoever you want to create in your mind? Maybe it's a journey or a trip that you'd like to visualize, anything you want to sort of create and visualize. Let's take some time here. Deep breaths. As relaxed as you can be. Follow your breathing and your belly. Notice if your breathing changes its rhythm, whether it deepens and lengthens. Even in this pose, notice where there might be tightness in your body. Fingers, thumbs, in the neck. Are you tight through the jaw? So we'll just gently bend the knees, lower the legs down, pulling out your cushion and just taking Shavasana for a few moments, relaxing. Could you have stayed there longer? It's always nice to notice whether a pose is a really welcome pose that evening, or whether you're quite ready to come out. Always come out earlier if you need to. How does your spine feel? So let's relax. Let's come into relaxation. Rolling up if you want to seat. While staying lying down. Lots of blankets, lots of cushioning. It's definitely that time of year, I think, where a few layers are welcome, just to feel a little bit more cosy. And so, as you sit there or lie there, as the nights are starting to draw in, get darker, what does it make you feel like? What thoughts come up for you? Perhaps just staying in, being a bit more cozy. So as you sit here or lie here, just imagine that you're seated in front of a lovely roaring fireplace. Perhaps you can imagine a very big fireplace. And there you are seated in maybe sort of a winged back chair, facing the fire. You might imagine yourself in a different time period, or in this one. But there's a large fire, lots of beautiful warming flames, flickering, crackling, and just that lovely smell of a real fire on the go. And fire, watching the flames flicker, can be very mesmerizing, almost meditative. You may let your eyes go soft and the gaze very fuzzy. You may allow your mind just to wander. Enjoying the warmth, the feeling of coziness and safety. Fire resonates with our solar plexus chakra. A feeling grounded resonates with our root. And the ability to actually feel and acknowledge our feelings, our sacral energy. So again, just let your third eye open up. Let your mind wander, your imagination, your intuition just come through. Allow yourself to receive whatever wisdom or information you need.
So very gently, just start to bring your mind back into the room. The place where you're sitting or lying. And taking a few deep, lovely, deep breaths. Gently you can start to move fingers, toes, tilt the head, roll the shoulders maybe if that feels nice. If you're lying down, maybe a nice long stretch. You can draw your knees in just when you're ready. And then rolling up to seated in your own time. Have a moment to just ground your roots down. Have a moment just to be ready for bed, this lovely kind of settled feeling. And then we can draw hands to heart. Om Shanti. Namaste.